Welcome to another exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton Show. And I know you're asking, I've seen this beautiful young lady before on one of his episodes. Well, she's back to give us an update of a spiritual awakening and coming out of trauma. And she drove all the way here from Florida in a van with her dogs to make sure that she's sitting in this chair. So let's welcome the one, the only, the beautiful Andrielle Mylin to the show. What's up, Andrielle?
Hi, thanks.
Man, you looking great. Got your shoes on, got your feet done.
I was gonna wear my heels, but that's a lot.
I see them over there. That's a lot. Especially for this show, you got to be relaxed.
Oh, I was like, I want to be comfortable, but I don't get to dress up a lot. I usually am in like workout clothes and bathing suits. So thanks for letting me dress up.
So you drove how many hours? I know from Tampa to Indianapolis is 14 hours.
Yeah. Well, because since I have the van now, it takes me like 2 days because I get so tired and I'm like, I got to pull over and take a nap every few hours.
And dogs are barking. So you got, oh my God, what kind of dogs you got? What kind of dogs?
Oh, I have a Shih Tzu and a Cavalier Poodle mix and a Shih Tzu Poodle mix.
I don't know what's up, but poodles is getting a lot of crossbreeding. Everything is mixed with a poodle for some reason.
It's a poodle. I think because poodles are really smart dogs, they say, actually.
Okay.
But they're small. They're like 12 pounds, so they're easy to take with me, kind of.
Yeah.
But they need trained. If anyone has a good dog trainer,
let you know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you took the time to really come. I was really surprised when I got the text message saying, hey, I'm coming to town. I want to come and be in the studio. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Last time we talked about the loss of your first love.
Yes.
We talked about narcissistic personalities, relationships.
Yeah.
But you've overcome that in less than, well, it's been several years, but since the last podcast, you have basically rebranded yourself, moving to Miami.
Yeah.
I don't know why you leave in Indianapolis, because this is the greatest city in the world to me. I mean, I love it here, but
the good part of it. I got the bad part of it.
So let's recap a little bit on your journey for the people that didn't get to see the first episode. Tell us a little bit about you. You're from Indianapolis, from Greenwood. Tell me a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, so born and raised in Beach Grove. Well, all over South Side, really, of Indy. So, from Michigan and Wallace, we talked about.
Yeah.
Made it through that somehow. But, I can probably drive down the street and be like, I've lived somewhere, every street just about. So we moved a lot. So I got used to moving a lot.
You said we. Is this mom and the dad?
Yeah. Well, my mom and then my dad, they divorced when I was like I wasn't even one yet. But so my dad met my stepmom now when I was 5. So she's been around a long time and she had 2 boys. And so that's like I have basically 2 brothers. I just call them my brother because we were all so young. So that's that side, that they tried to be normal. And then my mom's the one that did all the trauma. So that was a lot of,
How old was it when your mom had you?
She was 20.
So she was still young, too.
She was young. I know. Yeah. She was young.
Not trying to justify behavior in any way.
Right.
But she was young. She was 20.
Yeah.
And how old was your father at the time?
I think he was like 25 or 6. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's older. He might be a little older than that. I forget.
So when did you start noticing the dysfunction and then when did it start affecting you?
Probably since I can remember, but probably like 10, 11, 12. I feel like that's when it gets really bad. And I just feel like I blocked out a lot too. Like I feel like, that's what they say. You'll dissociate and you'll have memory blocks where you don't remember a lot, but then there's just traumatic events here and there that'll pop up. But, that was rough. I remember that time. And when you're in school and you have a mom that's different and, because she had like the red hair, and she had bumper stickers all over the car and piercings everywhere. Like, you just can't miss
Well,
my mom.
who told you that was not cool?
Right. Well, no, like, see, that's the thing too. Like, people that say your mom's so cool, but it's like you didn't have to live with her and like deal with this stuff. And it's like, I got the brunt of it all, you know? It's like from a distance, yeah, she looks fun and cool, but it's like, that's part of the problem. She wanted to be a friend and not a parent. And it's like, you need parents. They're supposed to guide you in the right direction and support you, which she always really has been good at, like emotional support when she could. But most of the time she was, you know, drunk and barely.
Did you have other siblings? Not the stepbrother. So you was the only child through your mom.
So I got all of it. It's like everyone put everything on me if it came to something with her. Like, if she needed money or had to have this done or that done, or, you know, like it was always me or my fault, or I had to be the one to somehow solve the problem of my mother. Really, I was her parent. It's like I was the parent most of the time.
When did your dad separate? When did they both separate? Because you said you was in and out of court dealing with them two fighting for, were they fighting for, this is a trick-out question.
Yeah.
Were they fighting for custody of you, for the betterment of you, or was it about child support?
Right. See, that's the thing. That my dad wanted me, you know, to get on the right path. And he's like, he saw the damage my mom was doing.
Right.
And my dad's so good. I love my dad. He's like one of the best guys you'll ever know. He's so great and funny and goofy, and he's just great. Hard worker, you know. So they were trying to do the right thing, but my mom, that's where she was more like wanted the power and control and be able to get child support and manipulate. But a lot of it too was the alcohol back then, because it's like now she's sober now and she's a whole different person. It's like she still has a lot of her manic episodes going on,
right?
But she's like, you know, she cares, and she's like the rock for our family since my grandma passed away during COVID, not of COVID, but during COVID. But my grandma passed away, and it's like my mom kind of took over being the rock for our family.
Isn't it amazing how the universe flips people around in the right time and stuff?
Yeah.
Let's go back a minute. You said your mom wanted to have control of you.
Yeah. I wanted to
go ahead.
Okay. About like the piercings and all that, because back when I was going to school, it wasn't like how it is now, where it's like more acceptable, you know. Back then, other kids, nobody looked like my mom. You know, she's probably one of the pioneers for
setting the trend.
Just now.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for that too, because I'm like, she exposed me to so much growing up, like just culture and diversity. And we would always go to the Pride festivals and everything, you know? So it's like, that's how I say, like, we are all one, because we are all one. So I think people are afraid of too what they don't know and like what they're not used to. It scares them.
Right.
Like, because I feel like I get discriminated against too sometimes, just based off my story and what I've been through. And I feel like people, like in church, this is why it's such a touchy subject with church. And I never want to be like I'm preaching to anyone, because like I don't want to do that. And I hate when it gets done to me. And I hate people just assuming that I don't have God just because I've been through a bunch of crap. I don't know what we can say.
You can say whatever you want to say.
Cussers? Okay.
How difficult was it?
You know, like, that's not it, I don't think.
How difficult? Why wasn't it an easy shift for your dad to take control of you and to care for you the way he wanted to, when evidently your mother's behavior was not unnoticed?
Right.
So why was it difficult for him to let the court see that, hey, she's got some serious issues. I'm not trying to be malicious. I'm trying to do what's best for my daughter. We can clearly see with her behavior that she is not safe. So why was that such a difficult process for him?
I know. I don't know. I think it's because, well, they say Indiana's a woman's state. So, the courts and judges like automatically almost side with the women, it sounds like a lot of the time. And then from other men I've talked to, just like going through custody also, they say that it's almost like the courts want the families broken up.
To be dysfunctional.
Yeah, dysfunctional. They don't want strong men in the home and in, the children's lives to guide them and lead them, because it is hard for women. Like, you do need that father figure and that strong, put your foot down.
Like, did your mom isolate you from your father, even though they were dealing with whatever?
She didn't really try to isolate us, but she was just really too out of it a lot of the time. She was drunk a lot. She would wake up and start chugging her Jim Beam, and she just stayed drunk a lot of the time.
Now, was that her only handicap? Because usually when you have an addiction, one addiction co-feeds the other. So did she have multiple addictions that you know of?
She did but she was prescribed the pills, so that's the thing. But she abused them, definitely. She would get Valium, pain pills.
Oxycontin.
Yeah, stuff like that. So she would, take, and then back then too, I was always trying to escape. So, me and my cousins, we'd break into her pills. And we were always in something, but that's what I was in and out of juvenile quite often.
When did you really start to escape? When what were some of the incidents that took place in your life so the viewers can understand about what age were you and what are some of the things that you're now reliving because you have now become awakening to a lot of stuff. And to become awakening, you also learn to forgive too and realize that everybody has their own path and different traumas. And we choose our parents. We choose to go through this for whatever fucked up reason it may seem. We picked them. You know what I mean? People say you can't choose your parents. Bullshit. We picked them.
Yeah.
And it's usually a lesson here. What did we learn from this?
Yes, I agree. I love that because it's all like soul energy, spiritual. And that's what I think people forget too. Right. We are souls. Like, this is just our body. This is nothing. This is like 3D world. And then there's 5D world.
So what are some of the things that you remember so that people can kind of resonate a little bit deeper?
Yeah. So, she let me drop out of school at 16. That was one of the big markers and milestones for sure.
Why didn't the school principal and the truant officers and come to your mom? I think that I don't even think you can do that now.
You can't. I was probably about the last generation where if I was 16 with a parent's consent, they let you drop out of school, but they don't let you do that anymore. I was probably a little cut off for that. Okay. I know. I'm like, no one should have let me run my own life.
So one of the things was she let you drop out of school. How did that affect you?
Yeah. So that was just, this is probably where I've got some blockouts of time period because I'm like, it was a crazy blur. I don't remember a lot, but I know I was running around with the wrong crowd in and out of juvenile during that time.
Did you use substance abuse too?
Yeah.
To block?
Yeah. Yeah. I was escaping every way I could escape. Like, I just wanted out and I was so careless with my life. Like, so careless. I didn't care because I didn't know how. Like, I just didn't know how to live normal. Like, I just wanted stability. And it was such a roller coaster.
When you say stability, does that mean that stability can come in all shape, form, and shape, form, and sizes?
Yeah.
Does stability mean that you didn't have a steady place to live? Right. You didn't have income. You didn't have food. What were some of those?
All of it.
All of it?
Oh, we went through everything. Yeah, because she ended up losing her job, and then she was losing our place to live at one point, and I ended up moving in with a boyfriend, and my first boyfriend we ended up getting an apartment on the south side, and that was awful.
How old was you when you moved in with your first
17.
Okay.
17.
That's still young.
I know.
What did your dad say? Because you still was communicating with your dad. What did he say about you moving in with a 17-year-old boy?
Yeah.
I mean, you're 17 moving in with an older guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was 17, and he was about 21 or 2, I think.
22. I remember the episode.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, I couldn't quite remember, but well, because my dad had me emancipated at 17, because my mom
So you're considered grown.
taken him back for custody, and like it was still a thing. And he's like, she's gonna keep fighting me, until you're 18, and you're not even, because I had moved out with my boyfriend, and he is like, you don't even live with her, and she's still trying to. There was something in there. I already moved out, and he had me emancipated after that. But he was like, just get away from your mom. That's what he told me. So he was kind of happier that I was moving in, because he was a good.
Why didn't you just move in with your dad? Not to cut you off, but we go back there.
Yeah.
Why didn't your dad just say, you get emancipated? Why don't you just come and stay here and let's start the grounding right now?
I know. I feel like I did try that on and off, but I just feel like too, I really didn't like it there.
You didn't like rules?
Yeah. And I just feel like it was so crowded already, because it was my dad and then my stepmom and then her mom that's deaf. My stepmom's a ASL sign language interpreter. So her mom lives there with them too. And then the 2 boys. And I'm just like, I didn't feel like there was room for me there. And, it was just already crowded, so much going on. It was like one bathroom and,
or now that you look back, let's get real.
Yeah.
You're 17 years old. You really felt you was grown.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is.
Definitely.
You really wanted to get out on your own.
Yeah.
Nobody tell you what to do. You're emancipated now. Hey, you was working. Let's try to play house is what it boiled down to.
Yeah. So we did that for probably not even a year. We didn't even make it through that lease. And the boy at the time too, he had history with drugs and, not, jail and all that. But see, I don't want to judge people, because now he's doing really great and started his own business, has a family, and I knew back then he was one that he did care. He just was young too. And we both grew up we didn't know any better. And it's like, we were just doing the best we could with where
limited
we were,
resources that you had,
what we had, and to our knowledge at the time. It's like such a process.
who could you rely on? Let's get real. Like you played house at 17.
Yeah.
You used drugs and whatever to escape the reality that's presented in front of you.
Exactly.
But who did you really have to depend on?
Right. So see, this is the other thing. My aunt, she's really my godmother. Her and my mom were best friends growing up. So they lost touch because they're so different. My aunt and my mom are so different. And now me and my aunt butt heads a lot, because I'm a lot like my mom.
Okay, let's pause for a minute. Where did that come from? You're now realizing that you're like your mom? Explain that a little bit.
I think so. There's things where I'm realizing, like, wow, we have a lot of the same, just because she's very, kind of flamboyant, really. She's very bubbly too. She has a bubbly personality, and she's just herself, and she's a little bit wild and whatever, but she's her, she just is her. So it's like how we talk, our voice, our mannerism, there's just things that are the same, it's just weird how we end up turning into our parents, because she says now she's like my grandma, and they always butted heads back in the day, and it's weird how we end up turning into our parents and parents and parents.
So, but who did you really have to turn to? You said
my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yeah. So she Well, she tried to help the best she could. She took me in like as her goddaughter. And so she was the one, she would help me. She tried to help me, but it was like all this other stuff was going on. And with my mom, and my mom it was so wild. It was just a roller coaster with her, and no one could get anything under control. It was like all of it was out of control. So, but she did try. But then too, she's part of the trauma because she was married to, I don't know what we can say, but we'll just call him a Chester.
What's that?
A Chester?
No. He was a child molester.
Yeah. I didn't know if we could say that. Okay. Right. So I went through that with her growing up too. So like she was helping me a lot, but then she was married to this guy.
The guy's a child molester.
Yeah. So I went
How did you know he was a child molester?
Yeah, because I was the one. Like I was his victim back then. And this was around 11, 12. And that's when it came out. But she ended up staying married to him. So that really put a problem on our relationship, obviously. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I was always with her. She would always. Were
you the only one that he did these things to?
I think so. And I was hoping so because there was other, like my cousins on that side. They would go over there and they were younger than me, 2, 3, 4 and stuff at the time. And so I'm just like, I really hope no one else had to go through that.
When you brought it to her attention.
Yeah.
This may be sensitive, but when you brought it to her attention.
I know this is.
Based on your situations, based mm-hmm. on your, what's the word I want to use?
Yeah.
Some people would call it rebellion, rebellion,
Yeah.
Do you think that was a crippling factor to why she didn't believe you? That he was doing this because you didn't have stability.
No, I think she did believe me though, but
and she stayed with him?
I know. And she just said, I never really understood. And I just asked her within this last year, I asked her about it still because this is crazy too, but he passed away he tripped and broke his neck in the basement. He was drinking and tripped and broke his neck. And she found him like that down in the basement. She called for him to come to bed and he wasn't coming up. And so she had to go down and find him like that. And I'm like, but then after that, she admitted and she came out about that, he really was abusive even to her and everything. And I'm like, well, why did you stay? Like, why'd you stay? And she just said, she too wasn't healed and thought she needed a man. And, I just don't know.
Crazy shit.
I know. It's just wild. And it's like energy and karma and all the things, it all comes back around. It's just crazy. But then too, though, because he has a daughter that was my age, and we had so much fun, and she's like a sister, and we're still close. I still talk with her. And
does she know what her dad allegedly did? Because I can't say he did it.
Right.
But allegedly. Yeah. So what did she say?
Yeah, she knows about it. I don't know. She didn't really say a lot, but every now and then I'll see where she'll share pictures of him on birthdays and stuff, Facebook stuff like that. Because we were very close, her and I. And I'm just she loved her dad. So she had a whole different experience than I did. Yeah. It was different, but it was I don't know. That was her. And, I had a different experience. So
how was your mom able to function, to keep a job, to keep custody of you for almost 17 years and fly under the radar? Let's call it what it is. Yeah. And I know where you grew up. You're not flying under the radar in Southport and Greenwood unless you're black in that town during that time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So everything that's in the Greenwood, Southport area, if you're Caucasian, pretty much everybody knows your business.
Right. She actually had she got lucky, I guess, because she had like a computer job. She did surveys, like phone surveys, but she actually made good money doing that. And she just did these phone surveys. I forget what the whole situation was. It was some college study and they had some kind of government grant, but she didn't make good money through that. And then they like pulled the grant or something, and she did lose that job, and that began her stint of getting on, government assistance, like government support, Medicare or Kate or whichever one it is, and she was still drinking. And then she ended up living just with families because we lost our place to live. That's where we come to that, where we lose our place to live. And so I moved in with the boyfriend, and she started staying on, my aunt's couches and basements and wherever she could float to until she could get her disability and all that, a disability from the government help. So, and then I kind of went off on my own and was trying to survive myself. Mm-hmm. So we went our separate ways. And, she held that against me for a long time, that I moved out and that I abandoned her. She said, she considered it that I abandoned her. So it's like, that's part of all the dysfunction, and the trauma, mental trauma that, I've had to work through all this time, and like where I get being a people pleaser and an empath. And it's like, I was always trying to keep the peace with my mom and not rock the boat.
Where was your grandparents?
My grandma, she had a place somewhere. We did live with her at the time when I dropped out of school. We were living with my grandma. We all lived together.
I mean, was it dysfunction there? Because
they say it was, but the grandkids and my grandma, we had a good experience with grandma. Like, we loved grandma, but mom, like my aunts and my mom's, like, no, she wasn't like how with you guys she was with us. And she was like, they said, my grandma was something too back then, and she would like pull all the dishes out and just throw fits, and nothing was ever clean enough, and she was always yelling at them. And they refer to the movie Mommy Dearest, if you've seen that.
Yeah,
that's what they call my grandma. And I'm like, that's so weird, because all us grandkids got a different experience. She wasn't like that by the time we came along. Right. She was clean, and she was always cleaning, and she loved things clean, but she wasn't like mean and,
But I mean, they had to have some type of communication to allow her to come back home and to be with you. So either they knew she had some issues and it's like, she's our daughter, this is our granddaughter, we're going to take them in. What do you think? Did they just turn the blind eye to what they were seeing?
My grandma?
Mm-hmm. Just people in general.
No, I don't even know. I feel like that's the thing too. We kept such a small, tight circle that's part of, like, I've been realizing this lately, is we were all in our own little bubble. And like, I was afraid to even go outside of our little bubble. I was so shy. I didn't want to talk to people. Mm-hmm. Like, I had nothing to talk to people about because my life was so different. Like, kids my age were just normal, going to school, getting their first cars, going to prom, being cheerleader, things I always wanted to do, but I will never get that chance, obviously. Can't go back now. But it's like, I really wanted those experiences where I was like the cheerleader and the prom queen and all that stuff.
Were you smart in school?
Yeah, I did really well in school. It really made no sense that I would drop out.
Did you tell your mom you didn't want to drop out?
No, I wanted to at the time, but I think I was just in so much pain, and I'm like, I can't, my life is so different. I can't relate to anyone in school. I just felt such an outsider, I felt, even though I really did get along with everyone in school and I didn't really stick to one group. It was like, I had like a couple of very close friends, and then, I could mix around easy, but I went to a really small high school also. I don't even know if they're still around. I think they were closed down. But it was called Key Learning Community, and it was like a magnet program, and they were downtown off White River Parkway. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was only like 900 kids from kindergarten to 12th grade. So it was called a magnet program. I'm still not really sure what that means. But it was like
maybe
gifted.
Dysfunctional kids.
No.
Kids are going through trauma.
It was different too. It was like they didn't have sports because they didn't believe in competition there. So it's
different. Almost like what they call the charter schools today.
Oh, maybe that's something like that.
Where the kids need a little bit of a different structure.
Yeah, it was structured
the normal school
differently.
Systems.
Yeah, it was very different. And the way they graded was different. Yeah, and they had like these little pods, they called them, and they just did things different. But it was neat though. And it was like, I liked it. I did like having a smaller, more intimate setting. And I was just so almost, I feel like I want to say sheltered kind of, or kept in a bubble or something. But I wasn't didn't grow up out in the world the way the rest of the world grew up.
Were there ever moments of, I hear this a lot with individuals, were there ever moments of suicide for yourself?
That's what I think too, where I just feel like I was so careless with my life. I was in a lot of situations.
That sounds like what you was trying to do, self-destruct.
Yeah. Like there's so many moments where I feel like God stepped in and saved me. Like poof, like I could have been gone, but in a miracle, he saved me. Like I wasn't
what was an
gone.
example?
Okay.
You got so many, I know. Yeah.
It's like so crazy. Oh, okay. Here's one. One time, I think it was Benadryl or something, but I took sleeping pills. I think I took 20 sleeping pills when I was 12.
What?
Only 12. Yeah, because my mom was letting me take 1 or 2 to help me sleep for school, for bed, And I was like, maybe I'll just take 20. But I think I was thinking I wouldn't wake up for school and then I wouldn't have to go to school. And then the next day, I told my mom, I woke up fine. Everything was fine. And my mom's like, I told her what I did. And she's like, you would not be alive if you did that. And I'm like, I did. I really did. I counted it out. I did because I didn't want to wake up. I was thinking I would have been late for school. I don't think I was trying to not wake up again.
That's kind of odd to take 20 sleeping pills.
Yeah.
And not wake up,
I know. It's that's one of the miracle.
What was another one?
There's one I remember where we were all on the east side because my dad's the one that lived on the east side. Mm-hmm. So, I was hanging out with a bunch of friends and, one of our friends was old enough to drive. So I think he was 16, maybe we were 13-ish or 14-ish, but he had a car. So we all hung out with him, and so they're all in the back as a hatchback and they're all in the back trunkish area. And I was trying to hop in and I was running to jump in because he had started taking off. Well, somehow he's flying and all I remember is I'm hanging onto the bumper basically and my feet are flying behind me and I'm just being almost drugged by this car basically, and my ankles are scraping on the pavement up and down, and my friends are oh my god, stop, yelling at him to stop because I'm flying off the back and it's he's going too fast. I couldn't let go, and then it was almost like a flash that somehow I ended up inside the trunk, the hatchback trunk thing, And it's it happened that fast. I was I don't know still how I ended up in the car. It was a flash. I don't know if he stopped really fast and somehow I flew. It was crazy. It was just one of those moments I will never forget, and I don't know how I made it out of that.
What kind of
really unharmed?
Yeah. What kind of aspirations did you have for yourself?
See, this is the funny thing too, because somehow my mom said too, she said since I was born, she always knew I was different and I was gonna make it out. She just knew that and she just knew it. And she said ever since I was born, she was I had like a glow. She was like, you weren't like other babies. You were glowing when you came out. And she has always told me that. And she wanted more for my life too. She really did. Like as much destruction as she caused, like emotionally and spiritually, it's like she knew like I was gonna get out. And she encouraged that. And she always told me, she was like, you're going to move to LA and be an actress. And that's what she always said.
Little did she know you became something totally different,
right,
but still just as good.
Thanks. Better probably, because like they say Hollywood is
so
corrupt.
When did your life, before we wrap up, when did your life really start to change?
Boy, it's just been a whole long journey. But I think after this last so I was married to an overt grandiose narcissist, and then got out of that. 4 months later, ended up with a covert narcissist. And that after that relationship is when I'm like, okay, like something's going on here and something needs to give. Something's got to give. Even though it's been a awakening journey this whole time, but that was like, all right, we're going deeper here and we're going to figure this out now. And start breaking these patterns and cycles, and we're not getting into another relationship until like we've got healing to do, obviously. So because that's what they do, toxic people, they'll just jump relationship, and you never look within and see what went wrong or why am I attracting these kind of people.
So were you admitting that you had some toxicity as well?
No. No, because what I'll say about it is, for me, it's like
you just said it. You said you kept attracting these people.
But it's because I didn't have boundaries.
Okay.
That's what I talk about too. I'm like, people that end up with narcissists, if you're on the other side and if you're the victim of a narcissist, it's because you didn't have boundaries, because that's what they do. They want power and control, because I was the one doing everything for them. And that's how you end up doing.
What kind of boundaries did you set up, and what boundaries did you not set up?
Well, just thinking that he was the end all be all, really. Like, I thought he was it. He was everything. Like, oh my God, I couldn't lose him. I had to do everything for him and to keep him. And I didn't want him upset with me ever, because with the narcissist,
sounds like a people pleaser to me.
Exactly. And it's always something, because you're never going to do anything right with a narcissist. It's like, no matter how hard I tried or what I did, he always is, the next thing's wrong. And that's what I talk about, is how we end up walking on eggshells, and we're like just afraid to even make any moves at this point, because nothing we do is wrong and they're always upset with us. And that's part of where, like, now I try to help people with looking within, doing the inner work, like, realizing your self-worth. Like, there's millions of people out there. If this person is not going to love you and respect you and treat you right, and you feel like you're walking on eggshells and you can never make them happy, like, that is not a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That's what I always say. My big thing is, like, get out and go no contact and start there. And then I have like my course now, Breaking the Trauma Bond, and I have a cord cutting for people. It's like a cord cutting meditation. That's, cut the energy, cut the cord from that toxic person.
When you're saying cut the energy, you're basically saying quit thinking about that person. Quit giving them your energy. You're giving them your thoughts. Just let it go. But it's hard for people to do that, because people want to be connected. Even if it's dysfunction.
Toxic. I know. Because that was me too. And it was like, but after the overt grandiose, I thought, I was okay being alone. But then this other person, which was another narcissist, came in to sweep me off my feet.
Okay. Did you set up any boundaries yet?
With the covert. Well, when I left finally, because both of them told me they didn't think I'd actually leave. And I'm like, I don't know why you would think that, like, I did put up with a lot more than I should have, obviously, because I was basically their slave, really. And it's like I was serving him dinner on his TV tray, you know, while he watched TV and sat on his throne and doing the dry cleaning, making fresh squeezed orange juice. It's like, gosh, the things I was doing, I look back and I'm just like, never again.
Did you do it because this is what you missed growing up as a child? Is this what you wanted because you wanted to play house? Is this what you wanted because there was nothing else? There was no other alternative. Let me rephrase it. That was the norm to you.
Yeah.
You didn't know any better. That was the norm.
The dysfunction?
The dysfunction.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize it was dysfunctional, but also I am just a caring, loving person. So I think that's part of how I ended up becoming a nurse, because it's like, you know, my heart, and I have so much empathy, but that's the problem with empaths is we have to learn when to like cut that off, because not everyone has our heart, and a lot of people don't have our heart. Like, it's weird to me because we think when we're empaths, we just think everyone has the hearts that we have and cares how we care. And then it's like, no, there's evil, toxic people out there that will use you up like for everything they can. And, you know, just kick you to the side and find the next supply, because that's what they do. They're just users and energy. I call them energy vampires too. Energy vampires. But that's what I help people with now, is like realizing the boundaries they have to set. Like, that's so important. That's where a big part of it lies, is just with having boundaries, because it's about you and your self-worth. Like, be single and be alone rather than
now some men would might say, I'm just, you know, you're an angry woman, you're pissed at the world.
They tell me that all the time.
But
all the time.
You teach both men and women to deal with this issue. So it's really not one-sided. This is
and I know I say that too. It's like, I'm fair about everything. Like, this shouldn't be a division. Well, like, this should not be a man versus woman, because there are a lot of, you know, men that reach out and comment about they went through this too with a woman. I'm like, yeah, it can be both ways. It can be both ways. Like,
what has been the biggest part of the teaching for you? Is it the fact that this is just my analogy here. I'm gonna put myself on this.
Yeah.
Since COVID.
Yeah.
Even before COVID, people have a very difficult time getting to know themselves, being by themselves, and really understanding themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, what have you learned since you started this course teaching? What have you learned between both men and women?
Yeah, like the similarities, or I think it's just
like, I just think a lot of people are used to the norm because I won't say that they don't have self-worth. I think that's a word that people use so much. I think it's more that people don't understand themselves. They never have quiet time to say
their pattern.
They don't talk to themselves.
Right.
You ever be in a room by yourself and find yourself asking yourself questions?
Yeah.
I always tell myself, I do it all the time, because I tell myself that's my higher consciousness telling me
that,
you know, this is what you need to work on.
Yeah, I know. I'll talk to myself all the time, and then I'll get great ideas, and I'm like, oh, that was a great idea. Write that down.
So what are 3 of the things that you teach people outside of boundaries? What are the other 2 things that's important?
You know, okay, one of
the spiritual growth.
Now, the big thing I'm on right now lately is realizing that God is within you and He's within your heart. And when you hear that voice, and I'm in a Bible study now too, and she said the first voice is God's voice. Anything else after that is the devil and confusion and chaos trying to confuse you, you know? Like, if it's something clear, like your first intuition, like they always say, go with your gut. Your first intuition is always right. Like it never fails us. And we can look back and think so many times where we're like, I knew it. I should have listened. You know,
that's why I talk to myself.
Yeah.
But like, are you sure I should do this?
I know. I know. That's the thing with the narcissist too, is they teach you to ignore that voice and your intuition. And, you know, they confuse you. That's a big thing I talk about, is they confuse you to keep you, because they're saying one thing and doing another. And then you keep catching all these lies, and it's just terrible.
But should we label them as, should society label these individuals as narcissists, covert narcissists?
Right.
Because I think that word just becomes so overly used that the bigger picture here is
toxic.
Toxic is one, but I would think the bigger picture here is never getting over. Let me rephrase this.
Yeah.
Not having a system put in place to deal with what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these things that people label as narcissistic, covert narcissistic, you know, all these things stems from some type of trauma that has never been fully diagnosed and fully addressed.
Yeah.
And it's easy to attach such words as narcissist, because I think I hear it so much on social media, especially with women. No disrespect. I
know. I get
I've
those
dated
guys
too
in my
a
comments.
narcissist. I'm like, okay, well, what made the person a narcissist to you?
Yeah, for me too, it's like more about, because I will say this in my videos and my teachings too, like it doesn't really matter if they're a narcissist or not. If you're unhappy in a toxic situation,
then you leave.
Get out. Get out. Right. But I'm like, I think the thing is, it helps people start like connecting the dots and putting the pieces together, because some of my most, viral videos are just the simple things where they're like, oh, mine does that too. And then we start going down a rabbit hole of learning about, and then you realize, this is what I'm dealing with. And for some reason, it just helps you with having closure, I guess. It's like, because then you realize there is no hope. Like, you're not going to change this person. This is their characteristics. This is what they do. They all do the same thing. Like, they're all out of the same playbook, I say all the time. And it's like, you're not going to change them, because that's what we all hold on for, is hope that we can get back that person from the beginning. But that's what we all say. That was just the mask and the lies and the love bombing part of them. And it never comes back. And then we call it, they give you breadcrumbs, a glimpse of that person, but they never come back to that, the highs. Yeah. And that's what they keep you on, is a roller coaster of highs and lows. And when you come from toxic and dysfunction in your childhood, you're like, this is familiar. And, well,
you would think that with age becomes wisdom.
Right.
But I tell people, even if I'm trying to get involved in a relationship, I can tell right off the bat, where is it going to go? And I tell people like this, even in relationships, I go, you need to make me a priority, not a convenience.
Right. Right.
And they go, what does that mean? I said, your first couple of reactions will determine whether I need to how I need to classify you.
Yeah.
As a buddy.
Right.
As a friend, as a serious contender.
Yeah.
It's based on your level. This is what I tell people. I agree with that This is why I use the word walk away. Well, not walk away, but I'm going to use your word to detach the energy frequency. I tell people like this. You're going to show me who you are. It's just, I just got to just look at the breadcrumbs, look at the clues.
Yeah.
And I do that by simply sending you a text.
Yeah.
And that text would tell me a lot, because it's going to show me frequencies. It's going to show me a little bit of your mood. Your mindset. Yeah. And it teaches a different level of communication. Let me tell you what I mean by that.
Okay.
If me and you are sitting here having a great conversation and we're able to communicate and connect, that's a different way of communication.
Yeah.
If you can't communicate with me effectively on a text, which is the simplest thing, a 4-year-old can do it.
Right.
We got some problems.
Yeah.
We got some problems.
Exactly, because that's what they say too. They're like, they're on their phone. They saw the message,
and people will deny it. I'll be like, I know you saw the text.
On their phone.
It's like, I know you saw the text.
Yeah.
So, well, no, I said, okay.
Or at least just like a courteous, hey, it's chaotic right now. I'll get back to you. Something like courteous, not just ghost. I know that's the big thing too with the covert. It's like they love ghosting you. That's where the overt and covert is a big difference. The overt will fight you and confront, and the covert runs and hides and ghosts.
And it's so funny because
that's worse to me. I'd rather fight.
I'm not even gonna fight. I'm not not even gonna give you that kind of energy. I'm gonna ask you a simple question.
Be out. Like if you have to talk, let's talk. And I don't want you can't just do silent treatment. You never get anywhere.
I will ask you a simple question. Did you see my text?
Right.
And I will wait for the response and make sure that I'm not gonna say you're lying.
Right.
Okay, that's one strike. Well, it's one question. It's not even a strike. It's one question. Yeah. But if it becomes repetitively, then we have a problem because I think, to go back to what you said, when it comes to, I tell people I shake trees, but this is what I do.
Yeah.
Communication level determines how your relationship evolves.
Yeah.
So if you're going to talk to me on a 3rd grade level all the time, and that's all you know is a 3rd grade level, we're not compatible.
Right. Because you need someone you can grow with.
Thank you.
Yes. That's my other big thing now too, is like, make sure they have a growth mindset. Like,
if you can turn back the hands of time, Jesus, look where you would be now.
Yeah, I know.
Do you share this with your mom now?
Yeah. Because that's what I'm saying. Like I'm really grateful. Looking back, now I can see how it all came together. Like it had to go that way, or I wouldn't be who I was. I wouldn't have this story. Like, what if I did just have that normal lollipop life and got spoiled like I should have, and
so now
I was resentful for a long time too. I was angry.
Now you're telling the truth. Now you're telling the truth. now you're coming clean.
I know.
There's something about them chairs, man. When you come here in person, them chairs, those are called truth serum.
I love it.
So
I love it though, because this is great. It's
so now that you can look back, before we wrap up, now that you can look back and you see all the stuff that this is so funny. People say, I'm going to ask you this question. If you had to change your life, knowing what you know now and your growth set, that beast mindset, that spirituality, what would you do different, or would you change? Because some people, people ask me, I use my own self. I went through, we all go through stuff.
Good question.
And I would tell people I wouldn't change shit.
Right.
Because I don't know what other rough situation could have entered my life at that time.
Kind of like the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Like if you change one little thing, who knows? Like that's a good movie. I want to go watch that again, actually.
So to answer your question, knowing what you know now, knowing what you went through, would you go back and change anything in your life?
I know that's the thing. It's like I just don't think there are any mistakes. It's like I couldn't change anything, because it's like I would not be this person. Even if one little thing would have changed, I wouldn't be this person. And it's like, I'm so grateful for all of it, because all of it had to happen to make me who I am now and make me a fighter. Like I really had to dig deep and get that fighting spirit, and it's like,
you're so different than the first interview. Totally. I told you, them seats make you talk.
Person too, being here in person is helpful, and not worrying about my dogs that come a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
So you came back to Indianapolis briefly to see family and so forth. How was that for you?
Yes. Okay. Well, this week's a sad week because we had my grandma's birthday, it's sad, but when you look at it as it's not forever, when people pass on, you find peace in it.
Right.
Like there's a peace. So, for my family, it's a sad time, but it's like, I think we've all come to where we're at peace, but it was my grandma, then my cousin's birthday, and he was 26 when he passed away from fentanyl. That's a whole nother rabbit hole to go down about the fentanyl crisis.
Yeah.
And then there was another thing, but okay, so them two, and then my best friend's dad also just passed away. So that funeral Saturday. So that's
I went to a funeral Saturday too. Wow, it's crazy.
It's gonna end my week here, a funeral, but
well, at least you came home, because you know what, you could have left.
Yeah,
you could have left Indianapolis and say fuck this to them. Never look back. It's you know what, I've heard bad things about this city, but you know what, I've also seen this city grow. I've seen it develop and become one of the major.
I haven't seen that side of things.
Well, next time you come back in the van with the dogs, we'll go all over and rekindle your. Oh, I've been there. Uno's is still there.
Crazy. Yeah, Greenwood South Side. I know the whole area.
But I'm glad you came back, and glad you came on the set to bless us with an update on you and your life. You definitely. In the last couple of months, you can see the glow that you've actually changed. You've actually matured, spiritual, not just spiritual, but emotionally. Deep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Work. It took a lot.
Yeah. You can see it. You can see it.
About going through like the isolation too, and that's another. I had a video just kind of go a little viral, but I'm like, it's normal if you're in isolation. That's good. Like you should take your time, and you don't always have to be in a relationship or even around a bunch of people all the time. Like just quiet the chaos.
What do you think your mission is now? You've grown both emotionally, both spiritually, both as a mature woman.
Thanks.
What do you think your mission is now?
I really feel like it is help people navigate the spiritual awakening and help just, when they're ready, because you can't force anything. I love that. But it's like, just help them navigate through that. And just like, now I've been through it. This is what to expect. This is normal. It's okay. You'll get there. Like, it's just your mindset. It's your mindset, and it's like, if I can make it out of what I went through, then anybody can make it out. I feel like whatever you're going through, like if there was hope for me, there's hope for you.
How can the viewers reach out to you and follow your beautiful journey and know more about your courses?
Yeah. Okay. So, my handle everywhere is just Live Well with ELLE. And I always say like Elle Woods, if that helps. Legally Blonde. Okay. Live Well with Elle. And that's the same on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And then I've got like my link in bio where they can go, and I've got my course on there. I have a cord cutting meditation for cutting the energetic cord, because that's the first thing that that helped me start, cutting the toxic cords. And even if it's family, it doesn't have to be like a spouse, even it can be anyone, but just starting there, really. Start
somewhere.
Getting those toxic, if they're toxic for you and you've been through this round, merry-go-round enough times, nothing's changing, like they say, nothing changes if nothing changes.
Right.
It's like, start somewhere. And then I have a money block removal meditation I also just created, because that's another thing. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to manifest this. It's like, no, when you grow up with trauma, people don't realize they have all these subconscious blocks, because that's what they say. Your subconscious runs, I believe they say 98% of your life. Everything's subconscious. So that's where a lot of the work is too, is reprogramming the subconscious mind. So if Joe Dispenza, he's really good. He's a good one to go follow too. And I love Dolores Cannon. Yeah. She's amazing. Love her. So, I
don't miss too many of her posts when she pops up. I don't know why it just pops up. I'd be like, okay, I gotta listen to her.
She's always dead on too.
Yeah, I
it's
gotta
like,
listen to her.
man,
I gotta listen to her.
Yes, it always hits like.
Oh, and Bizarre. I like Bizarre too. I listen to. I listen to a lot of his stuff because it's just like
so much sense.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
clicks.
I think people have a tendency to do two things here in their evolution to spiritual enlightenment.
Yeah,
Is they mix religion with it, and it's not about that.
Right.
It's a whole different
yeah.
thing, and I think Dolores, Dolores, and it's so funny. We just had Saquon Johnson on, man, and it was like, you start to. I'm getting the download. This is how we're gonna end the show. This is how we're gonna end the show. When you start to awakening your journey, it will have nothing to do with church. It will have nothing to do with that. You will start vibrating and attracting those same people, those same stories, those same vibrational frequencies.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
I love it.
Wow. And I think people, this is where I was going with this. I think people have a tendency to overthink the process instead of working the process.
Yeah.
Because the process.
Low state.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I had no idea I would even be where I'm at today.
Yeah.
And
I know, that's funny.
No, somebody told me this when I first started this. I had a lady, she had saw my first couple podcasts, and she was like, you're a light worker. And I was like, what are you talking about?
I know.
And then I just started, something just kept having me listen to her, and from that moment on, it just was like everything just started to like click. And I was like, what the hell's happening here? Yeah. But anyway, we can go to another podcast on that. So anyway, thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming here. I want you to have a safe trip going back. We're definitely going to do a part 2 on that and stuff.
Such a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you reach out to her. Open your mind, because that's at the end of the day, let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
It's about really stop blaming people for your shit and realizing that what you've gone through, you went through for a reason, and you have to take accountability for it, no matter how fucked up it may seem. We all went through something that we keep asking ourselves, why did it happen?
Yeah.
Instead of asking yourself, why did it happen? Find out what your purpose is.
Yeah.
And when you find out what that purpose is, then you start opening doors to answer those questions. Did I say it right?
It just flows.
Did I say it right? It just flowed?
Yeah, the flow state. That's what that comes with. I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another, and I do mean another, exciting episode of the Andre The Beast Crayton
So good.
Show.